Hi and welcome back. In the last video we began the process of setting up a site for this fictitious company called Conte. And in this video what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to set up the HTML for the page. And I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the finished project. And you can see here we've got a number of different divisions on the page. We have this top area right here, followed by the banner area, followed by the title banner right here, and then the top navigation. We have a sub banner right here that has this collage, and then we have the content area. I'm looking at the menu page right now, but if we were to go back to any page, you're going to see this has the content area right here. And then we have a bottom collage, and then finally a footer area. Now, to begin setting this up, I'm going to go ahead and minimize that and come back into Dreamweaver here. And I'm going to go ahead and switch from my project folder into my framework folder. And inside of my framework, you're going to see I've got an HTML folder right here. So I'm in Timothy Framework and HTML. I'm going to go ahead and open that on up, and I'm going to go ahead and select the basic.html file. So I'm going to double click on that, and then I'm going to go ahead and select all of this and copy it. And all this is the basic structure of an HTML page. There's nothing really special here. All this does is give me a head start on creating the different pages in my site. So I don't have to retype this information over and over and over again for every project that I do. So I've gone ahead and copied that text. I'm going to go ahead and close it. And then I'm going to go back into my video project folder. And again, I'm working in the main file right now, main.html. And here I am. I'm in code view right now. If you're in design view, you're going to want to click on code. And then I'm going to right click and select paste. And that's going to paste all that sort of boilerplate code into position so that I don't have to re-enter in all this information. And again, if you don't have the framework, you can go ahead and type this information out here. It's all pretty simple, pretty straightforward. We've got our head section up here at the top. We have a couple of style sheets and some JavaScript linked in. I'll move that on over so you can see the rest of that line. We have some meta tags for our SEO as well as a title tag. Then we have the body section, and you're going to see I'm wrapping the entire design in a div called wrapper. And the opening div is right here, and the closing div is right here. And by default, we create numerous divs in here. Now let's go ahead and again take a look at our finished design. And when you're actually creating your own site, you're not going to have a finished design to work from, but you should have some sort of a sketch or a very good idea of how you want the site to look before you begin laying it out. And again, we have a top div right here. Then we've got a div for the slider. Then we've got a banner div, a top nav div. We have a sub banner div, the content, the bottom banner, and finally the footer. So let's see how our framework lines up with this. And the first thing we do have is a top div where that orange line is going to be. And that's correct. That's what I want there. But then after that top div, we have this sliding banner in between the top div and this title banner right here. So I'm going to want to go ahead and insert a new div in this area. So I'm going to go ahead and click to the right of the end of this top div and just hit enter a couple times. And I'm going to go ahead and enter in a new div. And I'm going to ID it as slider, because that's where that sliding or fading banner is going to be. So we have our top div, followed by our slider banner, followed by our title banner, and then finally a sub banner. And again, if we look at the finished results, we've got the top, we've got the sliding banner, and then we have the title banner. But in between the sub banner and the title banner, we have our top navigation here. So I need to go ahead and correct that in our design, because this top nav should be in between the banner and the sub banner. So I'm just going to go ahead and highlight all those lines and drag them up in between those two, just like that. And I'm going to hit enter just to separate those, and I'm going to delete my extra line. So we've got top slider, banner, top nav, and sub banner. So far lining up perfectly. And there's that sub banner. And then finally we have the content div right here. We have a bottom banner, and then we have a footer. So we need to add content, the bottom banner, and the footer right down here. And I'm going to go ahead and minimize that and scroll down. And in this case, we have left nav. And we don't actually need that because we don't have a left navigation area. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And we do have the content area. And again, we don't have a right side div, but we do have a footer. This right side div here, instead of labeling it right side, I'm going to go ahead and change the ID to bottom dash banner. Bottom dash banner. So you can see how easy it is to repurpose those divs. So we've got content, the bottom banner, and the footer. And we've got content, bottom banner, footer right there. So we've successfully laid out the basics of our HTML on this page. In the next video, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and begin to add content to these different divs. And then we're going to go ahead and begin to set up the CSS for this site. So I'll see you in the next video.